When Yuri was 10 years old, she was attacked by a bloodthirsty vampire. Luckily, a pure-blood noble vampire named Kaname saved Yuri's life by killing that vampire. Now Yuri has grown up a lot, and studies in Cross Academy. Cross Academy is an academy where human students study during the day, but as soon as they have leave, night classes start, which are attended by many beautiful vampires. Kaname is the leader of those vampires due to being a pure blood. The day class girls wait eagerly to meet the handsome vampires. Being a discipline committee member, Yuri tries to control those girls. But those girls make her fall. Then Kaname comes to help her. Yuri remembers the day when Kaname saved her life. Kaname starts caressing her hair when another member of the discipline committee, Zero, stops him. Kaname walks away. Zero tells Yuki to stay away from Kaname because he is a vampire. In the night class, the teacher tells them about blood tablets, which after consuming they do not have the urge to suck blood. During night duty, Zero asks the principal to increase the committee members, but he cannot do so because other students do not know the truth about vampires. Zero is very angry about this and leaves from there. Yuki also leaves for night duty. Then she sees that 2-day class students have entered the school and one of them is bleeding from her leg. Yuki asks them to immediately leave, but then 2 vampires come there. One of them, Ado, holds Yuki's hand and starts sucking her blood with his fangs. Then Zero arrives there to save Yuki, and he fires a warning shot. Then Kaname comes there. He apologizes to Yuki for Ado's actions and promises to punish him. Zero grabs Yuki's hand and takes her away from them. Next day, when Yuki was getting ready, Zero came there to take a bath. When Zero sees Yuki's neck, he quickly runs into the bathroom. Zero starts panting and he sucks his blood with fangs, then he tries to satisfy his hunger with a blood tablet. Next day, the students of day class are very excited about the upcoming chocolate day. Yuki also wants to give chocolate to Kaname. But Zero is not happy with all this, so he asks the principal to cancel this event. But the principal believes that these events are very important to establish friendship with vampires. Zero is irritated to hear this because his parents were killed by vampires when he was a little. He was also bitten on the neck by vampires but was saved by vampire hunters. In the evening, when vampires are on their way to night class, Kaname stops to ask Zero about his health. Zero didn't answer, but when Kaname starts walking towards class, Zero challenges him to a fight. Kaname ignores him, but his friends find Zero's behavior arrogant. Zero's condition starts worsening at night, so the principal gives him blood tablets to satisfy his cravings. But Zero throws away the tablets because their effect doesn't last much longer. On chocolate day, Yuki brings chocolates to give to Kaname. In the evening, all the girls are asked to give chocolates from behind the barrier. All the girls give chocolates to vampires, but Yuki was unable to give chocolates to Kaname. Then Zero throws Yuki's chocolate towards Kaname. Kaname throws away all the chocolates, but keeps Yuki's chocolates with him. Then, seeing Yuki's neck, Zero gets uncomfortable and he runs away from her. When Zero comes to night duty, he is surrounded by some vampires. They want to punish Zero for talking arrogantly to Kaname. Zero throws one of the vampires to the ground, causing the remaining vampires to use their powers. Just then Yuki comes there and stops them from fighting. Seeing Yuki, they leave from there. Then Zero tells Yuki to stay away from him, and he too leaves. Later, Yuki comes to meet Zero. Zero looks at her neck and places his hand on her shoulder. But he controls himself, and he leaves Yuki in the room. Then in his room he starts eating blood tablets. Yuki finds one of Zero's blood tablets in his room. The next day, Yuki and Zero go to meet the vampires in the Moon dormitory. Suddenly Yuki falls on top of Zero and takes out a box of blood tablets from his pocket. Zero quickly snatches the box back and walks away, leaving Yuki behind. Yuki comes to the city looking for him, where she helps a child by getting a balloon down from a tree. But instead of taking the balloon when the child starts running away, Yuki goes after him. The boy takes her to a deserted place. Yuki comes near him to give him the balloon, but he grabs Yuki's hand and tries to bite her. Yuki runs away from him screaming for her life, and she hides in an empty room. Hearing Yuki's scream, Zero starts searching for her. Then the vampire attacks Zero, but he stops midway. Vampire calls Zero his comrade, hearing which Zero shoots at him. But the vampire takes the form of a boy and runs away from there. He then attacks Yuki, leaving scratches on her face. Just then Kaname reaches there, and seeing him the vampire become terrified. Kaname closes Yuki's eyes and kills the vampire in second. Then he asks Yuki the reason for coming here. Yuki tells that she came here searching for Zero. Then at night Kaname meets the principal, and he expresses anger at Zero being treated like a human. Zero is slowly turning into an E-level vampire. Meanwhile, Yuki starts searching for Zero. She finds him standing near the stairs. Zero tells Yuki to run away from him, but when Yuki starts to walk away, he grabs her hand. Yuki's wound gets exposed, and seeing this, Zero loses control over himself. He licks Yuki's neck, then he starts sucking her blood. Yuki pushes him away. Zero's eyes had turned bright red and his fangs had come out. Yuki realizes Zero is a vampire. Zero realizes his mistake and he apologizes to Yuki. Just then Kaname comes there, and Yuki falls down due to weakness. Kaname takes her towards the infirmary. Yuki starts crying thinking about Zero. Principal comes there and asks Kaname to go to class. He then apologizes to Yuki for hiding the truth about Zero. The principal tells Yuki the whole truth about Zero. Then one day Yuki overhears the principal and Kaname talking. Kaname asks the principal to transfer Zero to the night class. Next day Yuki sees that Zero is not in class. She comes to the moon dormitory to meet Kaname, but there she meets Ado. Ado asks Yuki about the bite marks on her neck. He binds Yuki's feet in the ice with his power, and then he starts freezing Yuki's hands. Just then Kaname comes there. He slaps Ado hard. Ado bows and apologizes to Kaname for his actions. Kaname tells Yuki to leave from here. Yuki requests him not to put Zero in night class. But Kaname refuses to do this because one day Zero will degenerate and become a level E vampire. Hearing this, Yuki leaves from there crying. Yuki then goes to meet Zero. Zero asks Yuki to kill him before he becomes level E. But Yuki refuses to do so Zero decides to leave school. Yuki stops him from leaving. The next day, the principal establishes a blood pact between Zero and Yuki, allowing Yuki to immobilize Zero if he ever loses control again. Kaname also allows Zero to stay in the day class. Next day, a new teacher comes to their class, seeing whom Zero leaves the class. Yuki goes after him. At the gate they meet the principal, who sends them into the city to buy some items. Then they go to a restaurant. Zero leaves Yuki in the restaurant and goes to wait outside. Then something happens to him, and he runs away from there. Yuki starts searching for him in the streets. Then a vampire suddenly attacks her, but Zero stops the attack with Yuki's wand. Then Ichijo kills the vampire with his sword. He asks both of them to come to the moon dormitory at night. At night both of them come to moon dormitory. Ichijo's birthday party was being celebrated there. Then Kaname calls both of them, and he asks Yuki to sit with him. Then Kaname holds Yuki's hand and starts kissing her injury. Kaname then accuses Zero of sympathizing with a level E vampire. Zero immediately points his gun at Kaname and the atmosphere begins to heat up, but Kaname forbids them from fighting. Then everyone starts enjoying the party. Suddenly Zero runs away from there, and Yuki also goes after him. Zero starts yearning for blood. Yuki comes there looking for him. Zero grabs Yuki, then both of them fall into the water. Suddenly their new teacher Toga shoots Zero at his shoulder. Yuki tries to save Zero, then the principal comes there and snatches the gun from Toga. Both of them come out of the water, and the principal sends Yuki to her room. But Yuki starts worrying about Zero. The next day, Yuki does not see Zero in class. He is not even found in his room. So Yuki asks Toga about Zero. He tells her he has isolated Zero in the principal's room. Yuki comes there to meet Zero. Zero asks her to leave, but Yuki insists on coming inside. Zero lets her in. Then Yuki starts taking off her clothes, after which she pushes Zero against the wall and asks him to suck her blood. Zero starts sucking blood from her neck. After that she asks Zero to come back to school, then she leaves from there. On the way she meets Kaname, who hugs Yuki after noticing her neck. Next day, Zero does not come to class, so Yuki goes to his room to see him. There Toga opens fire on Zero, but Zero saves himself. Then Toga gives the gun to Zero and leaves from there. Zero then promises Yuki that he will try to live his life again. And this makes Yuki cry with joy. Like and share the video for part 2. Thank you for watching the video.